This is the Journey to the Steel City, Part 3, in Episode 9 of Zoo Tours. Coming from Chicago, I am back in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, halfway done with giving you your own personal tour of their exciting zoo. Through our last tours, we've covered the Forest Passage, the Savannah of Africa, and this time we are headed into the tropics. The forest awaits in the Tropical Forest exhibit of the Pittsburgh Zoo. 6 of the world's most mysterious jungles under one roof. Nearly everything you see at the Tropical Forest attraction is placed within a single large indoor atrium that opened in 1991. The zoo and others claim that the attraction is 5 or even 16 acres large, but according to Google Earth, the entire area itself just comes out to be 1 acre. With the exception of a single habitat, the entire attraction is entirely indoors, simulating a humid, tropical rainforest, filled with thick heat and natural light from the sun. At this time, this was home to 12 forest-dwelling creatures, some of which that are endangered. Within the atrium, there are 8 individual and nearly identical exhibits that form a circle within the center. Each species is contained within thin mesh and glass viewing that the guests look through. Leaving off from the African Savannah's giraffes and zebras is the entrance to the tropical forest. So now we begin. As you walk through the doors, you are met with the scents and deafening sounds of small primates, along with your first view of the 150 total tropical plant species scattered throughout the building. Our first stop, beginning from the left side of the circle, is the world's most popular and arguably the most recognizable zoo primate, the ring-tailed lemur. And even though I didn't see them, I was told that the building is also home to black and white and red-ruffed lemurs that rotate with other species. Already leaving Madagascar, over to the next view is an exhibit that's labeled South America. It's the only habitat in the building to not only display primates. In here, I found a Hoffman's two-toed sloth, lively tufted capuchins, and kept separately from the capuchins also lives white-faced sakis that rotates with the monkeys. It should be worth noting the tropical forest's biggest flaw. If you haven't noticed already, there are thousands of live plants throughout the building, but it is noticeable that you can't find any of them within the animals' exhibits. They can only be found directly surrounding them. That brings us to the second of the 2 South America exhibits, this time containing the loudest animals you'll find in a zoo, the black Howler monkey. Home to Bradley, the reigning male, his son Farley, and a female named Claudia, who has given birth a total of 17 times. The next 2 species are Asian apes. The first animal, however, is arguably the most unique thing about the tropical forest. I'm referring to the zoo's male and female white-cheeked gibbons. First, we have Picard, which can easily be identified by his black fur. And then we have Mai, one of the zoo's oldest residents. But that's not the unique thing about her. If you see her, you'd be surprised to see that she only has 1 arm, which was removed surgically for medical reasons according to the zoo. But for a brachiating species, she gets around the exhibit just fine. The next Asian ape is located off to the side, interrupting the circle. This is an all-indoor feature for the zoo's 2 Bornean orangutans, Ember and her son Jiwa. This is one of the few places that exhibits orangutans strictly indoors, but that plans on changing within the zoo's next phases. The remaining areas focus on the primates of Africa. The first one with Angolan Colobus monkeys, also known as leaf monkeys. Like all colubi species, they actually have no thumbs, an oddity in primates, allowing them to shape their hands like hooks as they jump and swing from tree to tree. Across from them is another exhibit that's outside of the circle. Like the last one, this also contains a greater ape, the world's largest ape. This is the indoor home for their 6 western lowland gorillas. They do have a larger outdoor yard, so when the time comes, I'll touch up more on the zoo's interesting troop. This is the final habitat in the atrium, and it is home to a very rare species, the blue monkey. No, they aren't endangered, but only a few zoos today display them. Pittsburgh is home to Noki, Boobster, the females, and Riki, a male, who's most recognizable because he too only has 1 arm. That does it for the indoor portion of the tropical forest. Now it's time to explore a previously mentioned species as we head outdoors. This is your very last stop, a large 21,300 square foot yard home to a troop of 6 gorillas. Males Marithi, Ivan, and Harry, with Ibu, Mocha, and Zakula, the females. I mentioned earlier that this was an interesting troop, and it is for a couple of reasons. It's worth mentioning that Zakula here was born on October 15th, 1968, making her the oldest mammal at the zoo, and who is also mother to Marithi, the troop's leader. What's also cool and unusual about the gorillas is the fact that Harry and Marithi, both unrelated adult silverbacks, live together, something that you would most likely never even see in the wild. But here, it's no issue, and the zoo claims that the two get along. And that completes Pittsburgh's tropical forest, a primate-filled journey. On our next tour, we'll be going into complete darkness and discover the quick shadows of nocturnal creatures at my very hometown zoo. But there's still more to come in Pittsburgh, where we'll track along the zoo's two newest attractions. So subscribe and stay tuned. And please enjoy many of my other zoo tours.